I'd like to give you a bit of a rundown on how I normally set up my black bear baits and how we set up what we call the roller barrel. What I normally do on my setup is get a heavy duty eyelet with threaded rod, and you're gonna drill a hole through the top of the lid. Then what you wanna do is take 2 nuts, just basic nuts, use adjustable wrenches to lock them tight together, then slide in a washer. That goes through the top of the hole. So now that you got your lid, take your second washer, slide that on. Take another nut, just a basic nut, screw that in. You want to go relatively close to the other ones. Go to the depth that you want, but like I said, give yourself about a 1/2 inch between the two so it can spin. That's ultimately what you want the barrel to do. Then take your locking nut, screw it in. Take your adjustable wrench underneath the bottom one, and you want these to sit as tight together as possible. So crank them tight, and that way they're not gonna come loose as that bear is knocking it around. It's now time to pay attention to the side of the barrel. I used to put like 2-3 inch holes and a bunch of them around the barrel, but what I found is that you're running a bait super fast. So you want the hole 2/3 up and nothing down here. And the reason being is when you get to fill in this barrel, you don't want the coons to sit there picking at it all day long before the bears actually knock it over. So if you put your holes 2/3 of the way up, they're not able to do that. You're gonna want 2 of them. I'm gonna do one right now and I'll spin it 180 degrees. As you can see, it's not a very big hole. You don't want it too big because too much food will fall out. You want that bear to stick around. I'll spin it 180 degrees and do it on the opposite side. There, that's all you really want, because now the bears are going to come out during daylight hours and give you more opportunity to harvest them. So small holes, 2/3 up, you'll be a lot better shape and hold your bait a lot longer through the week. Now I've seen guys chain up barrels with heavy duty chains to a tree because they're afraid the bear is going to break it. But honestly, I just use nylon rope. There's nothing else needed. I've used this method for about 10 years now and had plenty of 400-pound bears come in. Honestly, all they want to do is get the food out of the barrel. Eventually, over 4 or 5 years, this barrel is going to get destroyed. And you can use steel barrels to last longer. But what I find is those real big bears end up jumping on it like we did at DOA Outfitters there a couple of years ago. And they end up bending the barrel and buckling it. And it does make a ton of noise. It creates a lot of creativity for other bears to come into the site. But I find these are lighter, easier to get into the site, easier to handle, and you know when they're empty, you can pick them up real light and throw some more in, and they last longer in my opinion. If you want to use a steel barrel, you can do the same method. So use nylon. We're going to tie this to the tree at about 15 to 20 feet in length, and then as that barrel is rolling around, small amounts of food are going to come out.